Right, we're on day 5 now. It's snowing in Lincoln as it is in most of the country, I think, so we've had to put a bit of a temporary canopy up there so we can keep our materials dry while we're working inside. We're insulating the room, we're going to get the vapour barrier on, and we're also going to plasterboard it today, hopefully. We first fixed the ceiling light electrics as well, so we'll go have a look, see what's going on. Right, all the walls have got 50mm foil insulation. It's 50mm thick, obviously it's foil backed on both sides. It's tight to the OSB, so the air gap will be this side, and then the vapour barrier is going over the front of that. We've put in these pattresses there on the walls. They're going to carry the wall units. He's going to have some wall units and some base units which will be fixed back to the wall there as well. We've also got over here pattresses for the heater and pattresses for the TV. This front wall, well, the reason why we've OSB'd this front wall, it's insulated behind that, but we've OSB'd it as well because what he wants this distance bang on 3 metres in there, which we've now achieved by doing that. So once that's had its plasterboard on both sides and it's skim finished, we'll have 3 metres. You can see up there, we're insulating the ceiling as well. It's had rockwool's been pushed in where we can't get the rigid insulation in. John's first fixed the lights there, so they're all the lights. What we do, we tack them to the top there. It's 1mm cable, they're tacked. We've got to tack where the lights are going, so that'll drop down like that. So I'll just show you this light detail over here he's done. So he's cut out there's 100 square for the light, so the light will sit there in the middle. He's also cut a bit of insulation we've popped tight to the ceiling and held it up with a couple of nails. Obviously infilling the gaps as well with rockwool. I'll show you what's going on with this light detail then. So, as you know, if you watch my videos, we're making sort of a hybrid roof because we're limited with the height limits on these, so we can't do a proper warm roof. Obviously height's an issue. So what he's done there, that's his insulation that's going in. He's cut out his 100mm square. What he's got as well, so 1 minute, so the light cables run up tight, so what he's going to do now, he's going to drop his knife in. And he'll drag that down. And that there will create the channel for the cables to run. So that'll just pop off now, nice and easy. There you go. So now he's got a channel there for his cable to run down. Obviously the cable will be fed across to the light, so what he's going to do now is chop a little channel out there as well. That's enough for his cables then to run across, and the square he's cut out of there, what he'll do then, so that's the square he's cut out, look in his hands there. What he's going to do now is, so what he's going to do, that's his square he's cut out, he's going to cut that now, chop and inch off that. And when he puts that onto the ceiling, he'll then push that up there as well, so then that'll provide the insulated hole. Right, so there it's going in, look, you can see the track, 1 minute John, 1 minute, you can see the lights, cables then are going to sit in that track. What we do then, that's pushed tight. You can see that's tight to the ceiling now. So there's no air gap up there, which isn't going to condensate. So you're not going to have the problem that everybody keeps crying about, that you are having a problem. It's a hybrid roof. It's a combination of the two types of roof. It works. They're not high occupancy rooms. It'll have a vapour barrier on as well. So what he's going to do now, he's going to drop that square in. You can see there his cables have run down that little track as well. So we'll just pull them down like that now. And you'll now pop this square in. Foil to the ceiling. Obviously that fits lovely because that's the square that came out. What he'll do now, he'll now pop a couple of little nails in there just to stop it falling down in the future, if that's ever going to happen. So that there will prevent that insulation ever falling down now. And there you go, that's your light box for your light to sit into. ceiling's fully insulated. That'll be your air gap there, and it's ambient air, so that's not going to condensate either. Right, so what he's going to do now, it's a tight fit, but he's going to put a couple of nails in as well. And then if the building moves in the future, you know, getting a little twist on the joist as it expands and shrinks, the insulation isn't going to fall down and we're not going to be left with any air void above. Right, so the walls have been insulated, 50mm insulation. We've done the ceiling as well, there's 100 in there. It's pushed tight to the top. Any little gaps we've gone around with the expanding foam. Any areas where we can't get the insulation in, we've put rock wool in. We've put mattresses in, we've got TV mattresses, we've got heater mattresses, we've got mattresses. We're going to have a bank of kitchen units here. Low level there base, so the base units will fix to there, the wall units will fix to there, so they'll give a good solid fix in. We've OSB'd this wall because we wanted dead on 3 metres in there, so we've packed it out a bit with OSB. What I'm going to do now is put on this vapour barrier. It's just a polythene membrane which stops any vapour, moisture rather, entering into the building, and it's also got the added bonus that any water when you're building at this time of the year doesn't drag back into the building when the plaster's drying, which obviously lets your room dry out a lot quicker. So it's 2.5 metres roll, this it's 25 metres long. What we're going to do with it, oh no, it actually looks like it might be a 4 metre roll, this one, I can't remember what I bought. So we're using this stapler. I found the best way to do this is literally on your own, and then you can get it nice and tight, work your way along like that. There's a couple of these on market, they're all different gauges, but to be honest with you, they're low occupancy rooms, so this gauge is absolutely fine. It's better if you use one that is see-through, because obviously when you're putting your joists up, so like I say, if you do it on your own, you can just push it down like that, and then what's happening then, I'm getting it nice and tight, and nobody else is helping me, because when they do it and they're all at it, what happens then, it starts to sag and it gets holes and creases in it. So what I'll do then, I'll get all the way across to there, then I'm just going to slide over here now, keeping the tension on it. You might, I mean, it depends how heavy-handed you are. If you're going to get, maybe sometime it'll drop down on you. But just a couple more staples. So, I mean, it must be the 4 metre one I bought here. Normally buy a 2.5 metre roll, but this has spanned the room, and we know the room's 3 metres. So, this is obviously a 4 metre one. What I'm going to do is get that all up like that, and then run out of staples there. 1 minute. I think it was about 25 quid this staple, it's a decent one. Heavy duty one, it'll bang them into timber, no problem. So there you go, that's your vapour barrier. Up on the ceiling. What'll happen now is we'll go around and we'll plasterboard that. Obviously you're going to get holes in it from your screws and from when you cut your light recesses, but it's the most you can do to prevent any moisture, any vapour, moisture rather, leaving the room and going up into the roof structure, which you're then might possibly create yourself some condensation. But like I said before, the insulation is pushed up tight to the ceiling. There is no air to condensate, which is what causes the problem. Your warm air rises, it hits the OSB, which has got the cold air outside, then you get condensation. That's why you've got to vent a cold roof, but because of the height limits, we can't have a warm roof, we can't have a cold roof. Talked about it loads of times. There's loads of people carrying on about it. Blah, blah, blah. Not interested. This works. I know it works. That's first plasterboard gone up. What we've done, we've marked the walls there, so when the plasterboard goes up, we know what have we done? So we've marked the walls there, so when the plasterboard goes up, we know where the timbers are. We've put a series of screws on, gyprock screws. What we've done on all, we've just packed it off, just with the pencil, just so that if the wall's kicking out in any little way at all, we can still put this other board in and it will run true down that line there. So you want to stagger your joints when you plasterboard your ceilings as well. On this wall, you can see we put the moisture, the vapour barrier on it rather. There's a double socket going there, so what we've done, we've cut out the OSB, which the OSB is there so that we can fix our units back to the wall. So we've cut out the size of that. It's a lot bigger than what we need, but obviously when you cut the back box out of the plasterboard, it won't work with this in the way, so that's well out the way now, and that's where the double socket will go. That's that wall there, it's got its vapour barrier on. And it's ready for plasterboard. Right, so plasterboard in the walls. Obviously we put our timbers at 400 centres. We've marked on the ceiling where the timbers are. What we're going to use now is this plasterboard lifter. It just jabs under there. It's like just cantilever, lifts the board up, and when it's up then we'll fix it with the gyprock. That's day 5 done. We've completed the inside now. First fixed it all. It's insulated. It's had a vapour barrier on, which you can see. It's got its first 6 electrics in. It's plasterboarded. We've cut out, there's a little letterbox window going over there. We've put pattresses in as walls. And that's it. So we've cracked on this week. Plaster will come next week. We'll get doors fit. We'll get some cedar on. And when it's skimmed, then we'll get us laminate floor down, a bit of skirting board. So we've had a pretty decent week, even though the weather's been crap. Don't forget, so if you're watching this on YouTube, if you go to my Facebook group as well, I've got a Christmas raffle which I'm going to launch this weekend, giving away some bits and bobs and a... What is it, John? What brand is it? Forgotten. No. A DeWalt. I'm giving away a DeWalt impact driver and a multi-drill as well with 2 3-amp batteries and a selection of tools as well. I've also got another competition going on Instagram for a free paslode, IM350 Plus. Absolutely free. That's brand new and it's never fired a shot. The raffle will be £1 a ticket. That'll all go to charity. A charity yet we've yet to pick. But that's it. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next week. Have a good weekend.